coming up on Focal Point.
There's a new coffee shop in Lansing, and it's attracting a lot of interest from MSU students. I'm Nathan Stearns, and I'll have that story for you tonight on Focal Point.
50,000 students are back on the Michigan State campus, but some students aren't happy.
I think that students should have the option just because I know that there's people who learn better online.
Coming up on Focal Point, students are needed for social interaction. Thankfully, I Am Basketball is the solution.
Michigan State University has 3 main gyms on campus: I Am Circle, I Am East, and I Am West. But could there be a new facility on the way? I'll have that story coming up.
And find out what MSU is doing to keep students safe on campus.
I thought it was important to install this temporary fencing as we work on a more permanent and long-term solution.
Focal Point starts now.
It's been quite a week in mid-Michigan, from a record snowfall to plans to build a big battery plant. Hello, I'm McCoy Scribner.
And I'm Quaker Uchini. Welcome to Focal Point. Today is Friday, February 11th, 2022.
We start today with developments in the Brendan Santo case. The 18-year-old's body was found after months of searching on January 21st in the Red Cedar River. Santo's family created a petition. They want a fence along the river where they think their son fell in on the night of October 29th last year. Asia Lawrence is live today along the Red Cedar to tell us more about the efforts to make changes there. Asia?
Yes, McCoy, this area here is one of the last places where Brendan Santo was last seen leaving from. To the left of me at Yakeley Hall, but to the right you'll see that things are a little bit different today. The black fence that is currently here has been here this whole time and is home to one of the many memorial sites of Brendan Santo around campus, but the gray fence is different. It wasn't here originally, but as you can see, it is here today. It's temporary, but it's here. The petition that you mentioned is on change.org, and specifically it addresses the Bill Street opening near Yakeley Hall where Brendan was last seen. Since the petition was posted, 20,543 signatures out of its 25,000 goal have been signed. Despite there being many pieces at this time, MSU students are hopeful that this is a step in the right direction, and MSU faculty hears the calls for action and is actively working on a solution.
We felt it was important to install this temporary fencing as we work on a more permanent and long-term solution that furthers campus safety.
I think it would be beneficial to have something happen. I don't necessarily know if just a petition is going to do a whole lot, but it's definitely a start.
Deputy spokesman Dan Olson says the university plans to have more permanent measures in place by summer 2022, but until then, Brendan Santo's family continues to have the petition in circulation and is hoping for more change in the time to come. I'm Asia Lawrence, live at the Red Cedar River. Back to you in the studio.
Students at Michigan State University have returned to in-person classes after being online for 3 weeks. But as Nyla Hollins reports, some students wish they could have had the option to continue remote learning.
For the first 3 weeks of the spring semester at Michigan State University, the campus looked like this. Empty, but in-person classes are back. And for senior Katarina Keeley, it doesn't feel like the best choice.
Just with all the sicknesses that are going around, not even COVID, just even there's a meningitis case, it's just like, why not have this option?
Half of Katarina Keeley's college career has been spent online, but she's back like 50,000 other Michigan State University students to fill up these classrooms. But it's a constant worry about getting sick.
Everything going on in person, like people spreading diseases and whatnot.
The MSU senior thinks there should be the option for students to either learn online or in person.
I do appreciate the university for at first doing like 3 weeks online, and I think that was a great move. I just am worried that we're maybe rushing it a little bit.
She's so passionate about having a choice, she wrote a letter to MSU President Samuel Stanley. Then she posed the question on Facebook, and now it's a petition.
There was some support saying that they would like the online option, and so that just reassured me that I should go through with this petition.
Not all students feel like Keeley.
I think it's a lot better. I personally learn better in person than online.
They basically setting us up for failure for, like, they more worried about money, whereas they don't care for our health.
Keeley doesn't know if her petition will spark change, but because of it, she feels people care at least listening to it.
I just wish that there was more of an option for students, I guess.
On the MSU campus, Nyla Hollins, Focal Point News.
MSU President Stanley said in a statement, "Although we are progressing in in-person instruction, we all must continue to practice smart COVID-19 safety protocols. Receive a booster when eligible, monitor your health, and watch for symptoms. Continue to follow the MSU face covering policy for all indoor locations and take care of your physical and mental health."
To the disappointment of some students, Michigan State is choosing not to bring back the pass-fail grading system this semester. With Omicron cases rising, students started a petition to bring back the pass-fail system. It was last used spring semester 2021. The petition gained more than 5,000 signatures. The registrar's office was advised not to bring the pass-fail system back.
I think if we make pass-fail continuous and we never stop doing pass-fail, the integrity of MSU is kind of at risk.
Despite last month's decision, pass-fail hasn't been ruled out for future semesters.
More than 800 people are doing their part to battle COVID-19. Michigan State and staff attended a special vaccination clinic on MSU's campus. The National Guard partnered with the Ingham County Health Department at the Breslin Center last month in an effort to provide booster shots to the MSU community. Booster shots are a vaccine requirement this semester. All 3 shots, Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson, were made available.
20 minutes ago, I just decided, walked here, got it. It was super quick, and let's see how it goes.
The next booster clinic will be February 17th, also at the Breslin. But if you miss it, you can call Olin Health Center at 517-353-4660 to book an appointment.
Big news for General Motors and Mid-Michigan. GM is making the biggest investment in its history. Maisha Johnson tells us what this means for the greater Lansing area.
It's filled with weeds and snow now, but in 2025, this land will be replaced with advanced technology.
So this is, kind of the next big facility for GM
that will power electric vehicles. This is General Motors' biggest investment in history.
Really driving the electrification future in the automotive sector with the item that drives the vehicle, which is the battery cell.
It's an incredible endeavor, spending that kind of money, but it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do from an environmental standpoint.
Of the $7 billion investment, $2.6 billion is going towards turning this field of snow and weeds into a battery cell plant that will look like this. This means 1,700 new jobs in Lansing.
And these would be good paying manufacturing jobs.
Plus $510 million worth of upgrades to Lansing's assembly plants.
This is obviously great news for Lansing. General Motors has a long history in Lansing.
These plants make gas-powered cars now.
But they're really important products because our current business has to be strong so we can invest in the future to convert everything to EVs.
In Lansing, I'm Maisha Johnson, Focal Point News.
General Motors will start constructing the new battery cell plant in Lansing this summer and is planning to be in full operation by late 2024.
It's been a rocky start to the spring semester for some students who have had financial aid and billing issues. Those students have experienced additional charges, missing financial aid, and notices that they were about to be disenrolled because of outstanding fees. A university spokesperson said this affected about 4% of students as the university switched to a new student information system. Financial aid disbursement was withheld until all the glitches were worked out. Fortunately, no one was disenrolled and no late fees were charged. However, it did upset some students who felt like their voices were not being heard.
Like I want to go here at MSU, like I want to go here and I like it here. I don't feel the same love back. I don't feel like they want me to go here as like any other student would.
Financial aid refunds have already been generated and will continue on a weekly basis throughout the semester.
Coming up, MSU has 3 recreational facilities, but could there be a 4th one?
And the weather keeps dominating the news. We'll look back at a record snowfall. And speaking of the weather, you're looking at a live shot of the Red Cedar River here on campus.
Snow, rain, and the forecast with Chloe Porfirio is coming up. Don't go anywhere.
Black History Month to me means we should focus on futurism and progress and also recognition. A lot of times Black history is seen as slavery, starting at slavery, ending with slavery, and there's like a lot of trauma behind that, and we shouldn't really be celebrating that. I think that this Black History Month, rather than talking about slave narratives or slavery in the United States, we should focus on Black futurism. I think that particularly white people in the United States could probably at times benefit from talking less and listening more. Listen to your Black friends, listen to Black people who aren't your friends. This month is about visibility, this month is about recognition. This month, let's take some time to focus on futurism and educating ourselves and just make sure to love each other.
The snowstorm last week in East Lansing didn't stop everyone from making the most of their day. Brian Goldsmith has the story.
We are still digging out. It turned out to be the snowiest February day in mid-Michigan in 22 years. Some spots in East Lansing got 16 inches. The storm made driving at night treacherous. It seemed a snowball fight got a little more traction, whether they enjoyed it or not.
What up? Not me. Anyways, we regret being out here.
The National Weather Service said to expect 8 to 12 inches of snow. And if you look down at my boots, we got just that. Look at my ankles. Some are clearing up the mess. And for some, fun means helping others.
You know, we're clearing driveways, we're clearing people's walkways.
One scoop at a time. Adam Green heads a group called Uniservices. He likes giving back in a time of need. He's also making some money for college. Even when that need has 4 legs?
Jockey.
That's right.
We are clearing off an area for their dog to go to the bathroom outside.
But there's more to the business.
It's important that students can come over and help clients like this. Some clients are less able, they have disabilities, and it's hard for them to shovel the snow.
In East Lansing, Brian Goldsmith, Focal Point News.
To join Uniservices USA or request services, you can reach them at info@uniservicesusa.com. Send a message on Instagram at UniservicesUSA or call 810-922-6621. The city of East Lansing ended up with 13.3 inches of snow, but could more be on the way? We just heard from Brian. Now we have Chloe Porfirio in the Weather Center at the studio. It's ugly out there. Chloe, what's going on?
Thanks, McCoy. Taking a look at that national weather, we're seeing some relatively warm temperatures out here in the East Coast. I know that we all wish we were in Miami right now with that high of 79. And looking over here in the west, we're still seeing those warm temperatures, those hot temperatures. We're seeing 80 degrees in Los Angeles. And if we want to take a closer look at the regional map, we have some highs and some lows. 42 in Chicago, 37 in Grand Rapids, 38 in Green Bay. And our current outlook for the week shows that we're going to be 36 degrees here in East Lansing with a mix of some showers, 35 in Grand Rapids, and 30 in Detroit. And we have some varying weather across the board. So for our 7-day forecast, today we have a high of 39, cloudy skies, and a 62% chance of snowfall. And it's going to be a very chill night, so if you're going out, make sure to bundle up, especially those hands and feet. Tomorrow we have partly cloudy skies and a high of only 18. Not much of a change from tonight, but at least we'll get some sun. Thankfully, that will start to pick up as the end of the week and into the weekend. That's all for the weather this week. Kweku, back to you at the desk.
The deer herds in Meridian Township and East Lansing are smaller today. On February 1st, the communities completed the deer removal plans. 79 deer were killed in the hopes of preventing car crashes and property damage in Meridian Township, reported more than 40 involved crashes last year. Police removed deer in areas that had higher reports of destruction and to reduce deer-related incidents. The deer meat will be donated to the community.
All of the deer removed from the city are processed, and all of that venison is donated to the Greater Lansing Food Bank.
2,400 pounds of venison was donated. Future deer removals will be scheduled as needed.
There are 3 dominant workout facilities on campus: IM East, IM West, and IM Circle. But now there could be a new addition to the IM family. Bria Crawford has the story.
Gyms on college campuses help students feel better, but it doesn't always work out that way.
We want everyone to feel comfortable coming in and participating, because the key is developing healthy lifestyles.
Construction could start soon on a new Michigan State University gym. It's important to some students at MSU to have an inviting space to work out in.
The gym hasn't always been a safe space for women, and especially a space for Black women.
Right now, mostly men work out here. Some students just don't feel comfortable here. Madison Whitaker, the vice president of Black Girl Fitness, thinks it's a good idea to make sure a separate, more inviting space for women and the LGBTQ community is built into the plans.
I think it's going to hopefully encourage a shift for women and people on campus to just work out and feel comfortable in a space.
Students with active memberships at the IM facilities have received surveys via email about their feedback on the environment.
It's very, very important that this project does have student input, because it's really a facility that's going to be built for students.
Some Spartans already have an opinion about it.
Them saying like we're gonna have a whole separate gym, like I don't think that they're gonna actually provide the equipment necessary for that unless that's like a very specific clause.
I'm hoping that this space will kind of start a shift and allow us to fill up this space and be seen.
As long as gyms have been open, some people haven't felt comfortable here. Some people could leave these places with a bigger weight on their shoulders than what they lifted in the gym. It's the hope that the new MSU gym will not only be a place for strong bodies, but for strong minds too. From East Lansing, I'm Bria Crawford, Focal Point News.
Bria tells us that we're still waiting to hear if the gym will be approved.
Intramural basketball is in full swing and students couldn't be more excited. Focal Point's Lance Limbo takes us to IM East for the games, the social connections, and just the pure fun of it.
These are all welcome sounds these days. When you think of basketball at Michigan State, many of us think of this. But this is where all the rest play. Intramural basketball is back on campus. It's been absent for nearly a year because of the pandemic.
It's great. I mean, I know as freshmen here we haven't experienced it before, but it's been great. I can't imagine without it. It's just given us a great thing to look forward to.
For the people behind the scenes at IM Sports, they make sure to take a step back for a clear shot this season.
If we live up to the standards that the university has set, we feel that we are going to be able to offer those programs in a safe and welcoming environment to all of our students.
Ross Windsor heads the Winter Intramural Sports League, and he feels half is better than nothing.
Well, actually, this is about half of the size of our normal intramural basketball leagues. In a non-COVID year, so let's take that back to spring of 2020, we had 300 basketball teams play IM basketball. This year, we only have 160.
Students come here for two reasons. They love to play, and it's a welcome stress reliever from classes.
It's like the general level of competing and, trying to win games, trying to win. You come here, play pickup basketball, it's fun, but this is a lot more serious. You got refs, you got a clock, you got everything else.
It doesn't matter how many shots are missed here. It's more about the shot and getting to know someone else, the connection with fellow students, and the mental health that goes with all of it.
We want you and everybody else that participates to enjoy themselves, to develop a connection to campus and to other students.
In East Lansing, I'm Lance Limbo, Focal Point News.
If you would like to get involved for IM basketball, sign up is still open. Additions are still available for any of the IM basketball teams. You can find more information on imleagues.com.
Some MSU students are marking Black History Month at a local skating rink. The two MSU organizations On the Rise and MSU Advantage teamed up to host this Back to the 2000s annual skating event. Some students wore tracksuits, laced up their skates, and took their place on the rolling rink. The presidents of both organizations agreed events like this have a special way of creating unique bonds.
It's very important being that the Black community at MSU is very small. So hosting these events is really a great opportunity to bring the community together and make it stronger.
Next week, On the Rise will be hosting a series of events to celebrate Black History Month. For more events, you can follow On the Rise and MSU Advantage on Instagram. A multi-million-dollar project and a new film top this week's entertainment around town. Focal Point's Deborah Marshall is standing by in the newsroom for this big screen report. Deborah?
Yes. Thank you, McCoy. That multi-million-dollar project you just spoke about is going to change the landscape in downtown Lansing. Let's take a look. Yet the sound of music, but the sound of construction at the corner of Washington Ave and Lenawee Street. This is the site of the new Ovation, Lansing's newest music venue. The plans for the $21 million project includes a 2-story main stage and balcony with an additional performance area, as well as office, rental, and retail space. And while the city of Lansing is breaking ground, rapper and producer Kanye West will be breaking genres, incorporating a rock spin to his unique hip-hop sound in collaboration with Marilyn Manson on his newest album, Donda 2, set to release on February 22nd. And that's not all we'll be seeing from West this month. With his new documentary, Genius, a Kanye trilogy, Act 1. Filmed and produced by Cootie, Act 1 documents the life of Kanye West, following him closely through his ever-growing music career. That's set to premiere nationwide February 10th ahead of its Netflix drop on the 16th. So please be sure to grab your popcorn and your headphones for a surely exciting month of entertainment. Back to you, McCoy.
All right, thank you, Deborah. Coming up, an MSU alum is taking his love for coffee to a different level. We'll take you to Lansing for an inside look at a new staple for coffee lovers. And Elena Raybon will have highlights from a very big game at the Resident Center last night. That's next in sports. Stay with us.
Since COVID, we all know that. The pandemic has affected each of our lives differently. Some have lost loved ones. Some have lost their jobs. Some have lost out on important milestones like graduation. Some really adds up to most. Most of us have been affected in some way with this pandemic. Stop the spread and mask up.
Mask up so I can travel.
Mask up so I can go to tailgates. Mask up so I can go to concerts.
Mask up so I can see my family.
Mask up so we can live again.
Welcome back to Focal Point. I'm Elena Rabin with the latest in sports. The Michigan State men's basketball team lost to Rutgers on Saturday, and we're looking to bounce back against Wisconsin. Neither team started well, but Wisconsin had the slight edge early. Here's Tyler Walls backing down Joey Hauser in the paint, somehow splits the defenders and lays it in. That made 14-8 halfway through the first. MSU grew into their offense as the half went on. Malik Holiday, a turnaround fadeaway jumper, gets it to go and gets the foul too. The and one would pull MSU within 5. Second half now, Malik Hall again hits another spin move and this time throws down the flush with authority. That made it 43-40 to Wisconsin. But it seemed every time the Badgers needed a bucket, they got it. Chucky Hepburn hits the crossover and pulls up from the deep. The three-point goes, and it was one of multiple clutch buckets down the stretch for Wisconsin. The Badgers get the road W, 70-62. Tom Izzo was quick to take the blame.
I didn't think when it was a 2-point game we were playing very well, and I give them credit. I mean, they just grounded out, and the right guys took the right shots when they needed them. And we did not have the patience to do that.
The Spartans are now 8-4 in the conference and host Indiana on Saturday at 3:30 p.m. Let's stay at the Breslin, but fast forward to last night, and what a big night it was. I was there. It was incredible. Michigan came to East Lansing for the latest edition of the Michigan-Michigan State rivalry. It was Breast Cancer Awareness Night, so everyone was decked out in their pink gear. Let's start first quarter. MSU gets to steal Nia Clouden running the break, goes coast to coast and lays it in for 2. Michigan up by 3 early on. Second quarter, Naz Hillman with the dribble handoff to Layla Filia, who drives right and finishes with her right hand. That made it 29-26. Michigan heading into the half. MSU had a massive third quarter, shooting 75% from the field, capped off by this Nia Clouden step back to three-pointer that put MSU up by 9 points heading into the fourth. Now with the shot clock winding down, Matilda has to just toss up and the 3 somehow gets it to go. It was her first bucket of the night and no better time to hit it. Michigan State held on and gets the rivalry upset against the 4th-ranked team in the country, 63-57. Susie Merchant was feeling very happy post-game.
Whenever you play Michigan and win, it feels really good, especially when you're a Spartan, right? I'm sure if it was the other way around, they'd feel the same way. When they're rivalry games, they mean something. So does it rank more than the other? It just feels really good right now, so we'll take this one.
What a win for Susie Merchant's squad, one that might be very important to come Selection Sunday. They've got another chance to boost their tournament resume this weekend. They go to Indiana to play the number 7 Hoosiers. Tip-off from Assembly Hall is at 3 p.m. if you'd like to be there. The MSU volleyball team has a new coach after the retirement of loved Kathy George last month. Leah Johnson was introduced at a news conference earlier this week. Johnson is coming from Illinois State University, where she led the program to 4 straight NCAA tournament appearances, 2 conference regular championships, and 3 straight conference tournament championships. Johnson says she's got big goals for this program.
Obviously, you don't come to Michigan State unless you want to win a Big Ten championship. You don't come to Michigan State unless you want to compete for a national title. That's why I'm here. Those are the big goals, but those aren't the actions. The actions are what my job is.
The MSU hockey team starts rivalry weekend tonight. They travel to Yost Arena to face off with Michigan tonight at 7:30. Then, on Saturday, the annual duel in the D against the Wolverines is happening at Little Caesars Arena in Detroit. Puck drop is at 7, and the game will be televised at Bally Sports Detroit.
A lot of things, and if, you know what, that's what we're looking for right now, and I think the smaller picture is probably a bigger issue right now, and that's what we're looking for. And like I said, we'll keep banging on that door.
Puck drop tonight is at 7:30 in Ann Arbor. The Michigan State gymnastics team has been in the top 15 of the national rankings for 3 weeks straight. Maryland came into town last weekend for a dual meet with the Spartans. We start in the first rotation with Ashley Hallflick on vault. A Yurchenko full and a stuck landing. A beautiful vault resulted in a 9.925. Second rotation now with Jory Jackard on the uneven bars. Here she is preparing for her dismount. This will be a blind full into a double tuck. With a near perfect landing, she'd get a 9.925, leading the Spartans on bars. On to the third rotation with freshman Gabrielle Steven on beam. She goes through a front aerial to 2 feet, one of the most unique skills in the NCAA. She'd get a 9.95, her career high. Last rotation for the Spartans with Ashley Hallflick, her first pass with a double pike and a solid landing. One more time here with her last pass, a double tuck. She goes up high, another sick. For the senior, this would be another 9.925 for this season. The Spartans would come out on top with this one, securing their first conference win with a 196.875. The team is sitting pretty at number 15 for the 4th week straight. A member of the team myself, we will be back in tri-meet action tonight. They take on both Central and Western Michigan in Mount Pleasant. Then we'll be back in East Lansing on Sunday to host Illinois. Finally in sports, the wrestling team picked up their 9th win last season. this week at Maryland. They're back in action tonight at home against Northwestern. Then, on Sunday, they go to Ann Arbor to wrestle the Michigan Wolverines. Michigan is ranked 3rd in the country. That's what's happening in sports. I'm Elena Rabin.
All right, thanks, Elena. One MSU alum is using one of his favorite beverages to open a business right in downtown Lansing. Focal Point's Nathan Stearns is live at a new coffee shop to tell us this week's Friday Focal Point finale. Nathan?
That's right, McCoy. Chateau Coffee is not your traditional coffee shop. We sat down with the owner as well as some customers to find out why. When you drink a cup of Joe here, it might feel like having coffee in Tarek Shawick's living room.
It's definitely a new journey to embark on.
This used to be a Big B. Now it's Tarek's own Chateau Coffee Shop.
We never really look at the competition about being better, but how we can be different.
Tarek bought Chateau, runs it, and he's only 24 years old.
You know, I grew up in Lebanon. I was born there, and really, I mean, coffee runs through the streets.
He opened the coffee shop last week with the assistance of barista Taylor Thrush and others.
And job posting just sounded a little bit too good to be true.
Thrush herself recently graduated from Ferris State. In addition to various muffins, pastries, and danishes, Tarek is also offering baklava and various other Mediterranean cuisines in his coffee shop.
It is a little bit hard balancing both.
Tarek is taking a full course load, all while running this shop full time.
When we're during downtime, I sit on one of these tables and I finish my classwork, just like a student.
Tarek's age sometimes surprises his customers.
When the customers ask who's the owner, they don't expect me to be the owner.
His age is an asset.
I think it adds perspective, being so young into this space.
Students love it.
And I like the staff and how they remember me when I come in.
Like Olivia Denny.
It's just like my 5th time here in the past weeks.
Tarek graduated with a degree in supply chain management. Now he's studying marketing, and on top of all that, finds himself running a business and enjoying every minute.
People are saying that, you know, they love the coffee. There's raving reviews on it.
In Lansing, Nathan Stearns, Focal Point News. MSU interior design student Adrian Wright actually helped design this entire shop. Live from downtown Lansing, Nathan Stearns, Focal Point News.
All right, thank you, Nathan. That's it for this week's edition of Focal Point. I'm McCoy Scribner.
And I'm Quay Gucci. Have a great weekend, and thank you for watching.